Hey guys, Chris here from Hockey Tutorial and back with another video. This time we're going to be doing a blind test with two sticks. If you remember not too long ago, we looked at a manufacturer called Panther. And essentially, they were manufacturing a top spec stick that was easily comparable to any of the household names. Now, this is a claim that a lot of new stick manufacturers make, and it's not always accurate. Of course, if you want the specifics of how their sticks are made, there'll be a link down below in the video description to the previous video that we did, solely looking at their sticks. But what we thought we would do to see how truthful what they were saying was to match up one of their sticks against a more household manufacturing name. Of course, in this case, it's going to be a top spec stick. We went with the Warrior Alpha QX. What we wanted to do was hide or mask the identity of both of these sticks by taping them completely top to bottom. So the two players that are going to be using them, JJ and Tommy, wouldn't be able to tell which stick they were using, and they would have to base their decision on which one they liked, which one they would pick, solely on the stick's performance with absolutely no information about which one they were using. By masking both of these sticks' identity, it means that the players have to go on what they feel on the ice, the immediate reactions that they get. Obviously, there's a little bit of guesswork in here. They're going to be trying to guess which stick they're using, but I thought it'd be a great way to figure out how the Panther matches up or stacks up against a top spec stick from a household manufacturer, and hopefully showing JJ and Tommy a slightly different way to consider which sticks they're happy to use. So let's get to it and see how the Panther stacks up against the top spec Warrior Alpha QX. Now, in terms of the stick's spec, both of them are the same height, both low kick. We got flexes as close to each other as we possibly could, 175, 177, and also the curves are as close as we could get. Which one are you going to go for?
I'm going to go for green.
Okay. Can you guess the make and model?
No, absolutely not.
So Tommy, that leaves you with the yellow one.
Yeah.
Can you see the make and model?
No, I can't see a thing.
Let's go.
I use the yellow one first. I think it's the Warrior, purely for the fact of how whippy it is and how quick of a release it had. The main thing for me, the reason I liked it was because of the quick release. You could be skating in, cut in, and then shoot straight away, no question. It felt lighter than the green one. I don't know why, but when I picked them both up, it was definitely a lot lighter. The weight was it's really light, really light. Like, doesn't even feel like you got a stick in your hand. And it was a lot whippier, which is a lot better for them players that like a nice flex on their stick. I think it's quite good that you've got me that thinks this one's the Warrior, and then you've got Jay that thinks this one's the Panther. So it's like, we both think it's different sticks, so it's a bit weird. Can't wait to see which one it is.
I took the rather bright green stick. Green's a good colour, can't really go wrong with a nice bright colour. You know, looking at both sticks when they're both standing up, you can't tell the difference at all. I'd like to class myself as someone who's you know, quite good at being able to tell sticks apart, but you know, even from my perspective, it's pretty difficult. So it's a bit whipping than what I normally use. So I'm a barrel man, so I use the Supreme 2S Pro and the 1X Lite when needed. So in comparisons to those, you know, it stood well. I was rather impressed with it. You know, certainly made me kind of maybe look elsewhere over the summer to, you know, try some new sticks, try some new patterns, and kind of see what comes from it. But no, I was very impressed. It held its own. You know, puck control was pretty good with it, which is, you know, quite a large part of my game. I like to have the puck on my stick quite a lot, so I've got to have a stick that I can handle something well with. Shooting, as I said, probably no kind of different to the barrels that I use. It was, you know, it's the same as using any new stick and, you know, a new pattern. If you're not used to it, you got to, you know, kind of find your way, find your sweet spot with it. And, you know, 10-15 minutes later after shooting some pucks, it was pretty easy to come across, and, you know, pucks were coming off as normal. So, as I said earlier on, I'd like to class myself as quite a, you know, a good reader of sticks and patterns and whatnot. I'm pretty dead certain, near enough kind of 99.9% sure I got the Warrior in my hands, but I'm sure we'll have to unravel it to see. So the yellow stick, and we'll refer to it as the Panther from what I believe it is. Once again, you know, for a non-top branded stick as such, it was, you know, it handled very well. It was very light. It was easy to move the puck around with. I think the backhand was certainly a bit better, but I don't know whether that was just you know, the curve from what it handled like. It felt like the old you know, P88 on the Eric Lindros back in the day, or what's now known on the bow as the Patrick Kane curve. So the backhand was a little bit finer. Wasn't you know, wasn't too much effort to put the puck, you know, kind of upstairs in the net and stuff like that. So.
And what was stick handling with it like?
With the yellow stick, it was, I'd say, near enough kind of similar. I mean, the weight between the green and the yellow wasn't too different. Eager to see which is what. I'm hoping I'm right, but we'll see.
All right, show us which stick is which.
And obviously goes right.
What stick you got, Tommy?
I got a Panther. Fair play.
Told you.
Fair play.
If you had to pick 3 things that the yellow stick did better than the green stick, which we now know is the Panther, what would you say those were?
The backhand, it was pretty effortless. Stick handling was definitely better with the Panther. I'd like to say the kind of weight. As I said, I think the Warrior was a bit heavier. Panther was obviously, you know, a lot lighter, and as I said, you know, certain guys like that. Certain guys like a, you know, bit of a heavier stick. So no, those are the 3 things: stick handling, backhand, and, you know, the weight difference.
Now, what would you say in reverse that the Warrior did better than the Panther at?
The more kind of powerful shots. I mean, the one-timers and the slap shots, obviously, where, you know, you're loading and, you know, you're putting a bit more extra weight behind the stick to, you know, to kind of get the power off it. I definitely think that the Warrior was you know, far better in that category. You know, on the same front, I think the Panther was very well with, you know, the kind of the quick release snapshot wrist shot.
What do you think that the yellow stick, which we now know is the Panther, did better than the green stick, which is the Warrior?
I thought the yellow one done a lot better within like release. You could shoot a lot quicker with this one. Stick handling and just getting that shot off as fast as possible was a lot easier with this one, in my opinion. The weight, it was a lot lighter, which obviously some players like. Some players like feeling that they have nothing in their hands. Some players like a bit of weight, as Jay said. But it depends on the sort of player you are.
When both of these sticks were covered up and you couldn't see which one they were, which one did you say that you wanted? Which one did you say that you wanted to stick with?
Oh, the yellow one for sure, because it was nice. The release was quick. It was actually really nice to use.
What would you say that you've learned from this whole exercise?
It doesn't matter if you get a big brand name stick or one that's barely known. If it fits your play and you like it, use it.
What would you say is the one thing that you've learned from this entire exercise?
Definitely you know, the science behind obviously the manufacturing and the science behind hockey in general is, you know, kind of growing. You can see that doing a blind test, sticks nowadays, whether a top end stick or a smaller, more kind of a privately, maybe family run company, the science behind it is no different than what Warrior, Bauer and CCM are doing. The reason that these guys are making good sticks is because they're trying to follow the game as it progresses, and sticks need to be lighter and obviously more advanced than what they were 10, 15, 20 years ago to obviously kind of keep up with the times. So I would like to do this exercise again, 2 other sticks, just to kind of see how they match up and see, obviously, once again, if we might be able to tell them apart or not. So
As always, a big thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. If you like this type of video and you want us to do another blind test, please comment down below with which sticks we should compare against each other. Don't forget to thumbs up if you enjoyed this and subscribe if you haven't done so already. A big thank you to the Everyone Active Raiders and also the team here at Sapphire Ice and Leisure for making this video possible. Before you go anywhere, thumbs up, comment down below with which 2 sticks we should VS from which manufacturers in another blind test, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care, guys, and make sure you follow us on Instagram so you can see a little bit of the behind the scenes from what went down today. Thank you, guys. Take care. Peace.